Hey everybody, it's Mike from The Mike Wagner Show. If you like The Mike Wagner Show and you want to make your own podcast, well, let me tell you about Anchor. First of all, it's free. Secondly, there's creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. You can also add any song from Spotify directly to your episodes. The possibilities are endless. Anchor will distribute your podcast for you. You can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, many more. You can also make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. So download the free Anchor app or go to Anchor FM to get started.
The Mike Wagner Show is powered by Sonic Web Studios.
Hi, this is Mia Mosenzel, also known as Mia No Time for Love. Check out my latest book, Missing, available in print and ebook formats on Amazon.
It's now time for the Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. The Mike Wagner Show can be heard on Spreaker, Spotify, iHeartRadio, YouTube, iTunes, Anchor FM, Radio Public, and the MikeWagnerShow.com. Mike brings you great guests and interesting people from all across the globe. So sit back, relax, and enjoy another great episode of the Mike Wagner Show.
Hey everybody, it's Mike from The Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. Look at a professional website without breaking your budget. Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs that blow the competition away. Call today, 1-800-303-3960. That's 1-800-303-3960. Or email to support@sonicwebstudios.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show. Get 20% off your first project. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level. Also, time to give official shout out to our official sponsor of the Mike Wagner Show, international warring author Mia Mosenzel. If you love fast-paced mysteries, you'll love Missing by Mia Mosenzel. Available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. Missing is fast-paced and intriguing with an unforgettable twist. Takes place in 4 countries, 2 strangers, 1 target, where truth is illusion and those you love will be the first to go missing. It's available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. Missing by Mia Mosenzel has garnered great reviews and even loved and endorsed by Howard celebrities, including Joanna Cassidy, Forbes Riley, and many others. So grab your copy today before it goes Missing by Mia Mosenzel. Available on Amazon. Also, check out the Mike Wagner Show at themikewagnershow.com on over 30 podcast platforms, including Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. Also, Anchor FM, iTunes, Google Play, Amazon, Audible, Apple Music, and more. Take the Mike Wagner Show with you on any mobile device. Subscribe to the Mike Wagner Show on the YouTube channel. Follow the Mike Wagner Show on Instagram and Twitter today. And for great gift ideas 24/7 for family, friends, and loved ones, go to Amazon.com and check out the Mike Wagner Show podcast, t-shirts, pop sockets, throw pillows, tote bags, lots of great gifts. And make some great gifts year-round 24/7. And for more great gift ideas, go to Amazon.com and check out the Mia Mosenzel store, like Missing, Once, and Wrinkles, and other great books. Also, cool merchandise like t-shirts, pop sockets, hoodies, phone cases, and more. Amazon.com/Mia Mosenzel. Make sure you check it out today. Also, support the Mike Wagner Show on Anchor FM, as well as PayPal and the MikeWagnerShow.com. Make sure you do so today. We're here with a terrific gentleman who's a professional speaker, author, consultant, sales trainer, and a business coach with 2 decades of experience in direct sales and also in leadership. And he built an international team of over 6,000 independent associates across North America and Canada. And he also wrote a book called The Relevance Gap to help those struggling to transition during these extreme change and hard economic times. And he also came from Kansas City, Missouri, but he just recently transitioned over to outside Tampa, Florida, and we're looking forward to hear his great story. And live, ladies and gentlemen, from the Plus Studios from outside Tampa, Florida, the amazing professional speaker, consultant, sales trainer, and the author of The Relevance Gap, ladies and gentlemen, the amazingly multi-talented Scott Scantlin. Scott, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Thanks for joining us today.
Hey, Mike. Thank you so much, man. Glad to be here with you today. Thanks for the invitation. And looking forward to talking to your audience. So we're appreciate it.
And we're great to have you on board as well, too, from being in Tampa, Florida, as we speak, or outside, we should say. And you're a professional speaker, author, consultant, sales trainer, also a business coach with over 2 decades experience in direct sales and leadership. And you also built an international team of over 6,000 independent associates across Canada and North America. And you also wrote the book, The Relevance Gap, for those struggling to transition during the extreme change and economic times as well. And you lived in Kansas City for a little bit, and your book is on Amazon right now. And of course, you've got a great story to tell and how you can help people with the relevance gap. And before getting to all that, Scott, Tell us how you first got started.
Yeah. So, I just got started in business at a young age, 28 years old and, coming out of college and kind of was like a lot of guys, working a job, kind of barely kind of making ends meet, and struggling to, deal with my credit card debt and other things. And I really kind of realized very quickly that employment didn't work well for me.
Mm-hmm.
I really was kind of more independent minded, wanted to be on my own. And that's when I got in my first business, which was the cellular phone business when nobody owned them. I mean,
really? Wow.
I was early.
Can you solve my cell phone problems at that time?
Yeah. So I was always looking for, product services, things that nobody owned, everyone needs, everyone's going to buy. I like to get out in front of things before inevitable change is going to come. And nobody owns cell phones. People didn't want to talk to you about it. They said, I don't like cell phones. Only two types of people own cell phones. That's drug dealers and lawyers. And I don't like lawyers. And I don't like drug dealers. And I don't want to buy one from you. But I knew they were going to buy them. I knew they were going to buy phones. I knew everybody was going to have phones. And so I got out in the cellular phone business and we did pretty well for a while. But then I was struggling to, kind of make ends meet. There I was kind of upside down on credit cards. There was a recession that took place. And that's when I really started to transition to other products and other services that were really meeting some new needs. And so I've been with a company called Legalshield for the past 23 years, where I built my team of over 6,000 associates across North America and Canada. And, what they do is instead of spending $200, $300, $400 an hour for legal services, the members pay a small monthly fee. It's like $29.95 a month. And when we need access to our network of attorneys, it's all paid for through the membership, unlimited, no cost. And of course, they do identity theft protection and different stuff for small businesses and different things. But I've been with that company, and that company is really exploding right now. They are a disruptive innovation where they've taken technology and making it simpler, easier, more affordable to access legal services. So, you think about that conceptually. That's kind of how I got along my journey, along my path. Of course, along the way, I had a lot of fun. My brother Wes, being the lead singer of Puddle of Mud. I know Mike.
Really? Wow. Yeah, oh my gosh. So many of my friends are big Puddle of Mud fans. That is so amazing. Wish he was with you right now.
Yeah. I'll try to get him on for you.
Sounds good.
Yeah. So we had a lot of fun with that. And I learned a lot about marketing. I learned a lot about promotion. I learned a lot about, how to, but here's the thing I found out along the way, whether it was Puddle of Mud trying to get people to come out to a show, it was cellular phones trying to get people to come into your store and meet with you and buy phones, or whether it's Legalshield out there driving and building network and divisions and things like that, distribution models and stuff like that. The more things change, Mike, the more they stay the same. It's an old French proverb. When I wrote the Relevance Gap, how to stay relevant and thrive in a fast changing world, I just saw people struggling with technology. I personally, as a leader, had to deal with it up front with an entire sales organization that had to kind of refigure out and retrain how they approach the market through social media, through Zoom, through online platforms, through, all these different, modalities that, people were just sort of freezing up, just like, I don't know where to start. This is very overwhelming. And I realized that they were struggling. And what I saw happen was people becoming irrelevant, and that's what happens over time. And so I noticed this gap, and that's why we call it the relevance gap. There's this gap between where you are and, really where you need to be, in relation to the speed of the market changing around you. And the longer you wait, the more irrelevant you become. And you wait too long, they're going to replace you. They're going to put somebody else in there, and you can't afford that. And so we just spent the time really evaluating and getting an idea. Guys, it's not a lot of change that needs to take place. It's only maybe 6 or 7 things that, and matter of fact, once you make one change and then the next change, and then it kind of creates a speed of its own. And the next thing you know, man, you're just up to speed with the market. It's just not that complicated. But again, we take the sting out of it and really talk about that. And that's the design behind the book, The Relevance Gap. So that's how I got started. That's my story.
How did you first get interested in writing The Relevance Gap? What was that one moment that somebody said, I need to write this book?
Yeah. So there I was. I was in that situation where I was having my entire sales team, suddenly numbers were dropping, because the sales model changed. It's like, who moved my cheese? It's really the future process. And there I was, kind of trying to figure out, okay, I've got to learn social media. I've got to learn, Zoom. I've got to learn how to, outreach and the way people communicate, because the modality between the way people used to answer the phone, back in the day, you made a phone call, somebody answered the phone. They don't answer the phone anymore. They broom you. They want you to text them first, right? That's a change.
Right. Text message, everything like that. I know what you mean. Yes.
Yeah. So it all starts, and it's just what happened was the process changed, but the system really is still the same. But we saw that happen, and that's when I realized, I'm like, gosh, I need to. I'm addressed it for myself. I've figured out models and systems and how to work and how to make adjustments and how to adapt. Right? I figured all of that out, and so I started bringing that to my team. I thought everybody needs this, and so I started writing about the topic, and then the book just kind of took off from there.
Mm-hmm. Also, too, when it comes to relevance gap as well, too, does it also market the generations in there, like say with the baby boomers, Gen X, Gen Y, millennials, Gen Z, and all that? How much of it has been addressed?
Yeah, totally. I addressed that in, I think, chapter 2, and basically, I mean, you got 4 generations in the workforce right now, and that's never happened before in history, right?
Really?
Like you said, you got Gen Z, you got the millennials, you got Gen X. I'm a Gen Xer, and you got the baby boomers all operating in one common space. And there's a lot of butting of heads that have gone on there. But again, it's interestingly enough, it's, all of us need each of us, and each of us need all of us. As a matter of fact, they're calling a lot of the baby boomers back into the employment workforce, and they're trying to let them go and kind of reconstruct their contract and get them on an independent contractual agreement. They're bringing them back into the office space because the younger guys need the leadership and the role models. And so there's a huge dynamic that's happening. Everything, they're still kind of butting heads a little bit. It's really interesting. And then watching the dynamic between the millennials and the Gen Zs, who are very technologically savvy, almost to a fault. Like, it's just a natural, it's not uncomfortable for them. They don't have any stress with it. It's simple and easy. And, we train the baby boomers and of course, some of the Gen Xers also as well to partner with the youth. Get them not just working with you. So let's partner up. Let's work together. Let me give you my experience. The more things change, the more they stay the same. I know what the fundamentals and the models are, but I don't quite understand, or not as natural, or as you don't have the proponent as you are with going out and utilizing technology with social media, and now creating a reel on Facebook and Instagram, and now there's TikTok, and they just naturally understand these things. And so when you put that dynamic and get those two partnering together, it's just pretty explosive. So I talk a lot about that in the book, and of course also change of employment, the rise of the freelance contract labor market, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
it's been on a rise like crazy too. 1099 used to be a bad thing. Now it's going to be a good thing. And of course, save on health benefits, insurance, and everything else. So it kind of sounds like with the freelancers, to me, they're going to be having more say these days than management.
Oh, without a doubt. And they're going to become dominant. And the reason why is because they're running their own business. And young lady that I brought in as a virtual assistant for me, found out very quickly what the rules were. As long as they work from home on their own equipment and their own schedule, right? And you give them tasks and they do it. You can 1099 them, and there's, no recourse of any kind, as long as you also want to put a little bit of a contract in place. So that's all spelled out and written. But the bottom line is that she took off with that. She became very skilled very, very quickly. Matter of fact, there's a great book out there called Your World-Class Virtual Assistant, or Your World-Class Executive Assistant, by Michael Hyatt.
Wow.
Read the book, found my virtual assistant, trained her, had her read the book. She got so good at it, she went off and basically started billing herself out on hours I wasn't billing her to other people.
Wow, that is amazing. And of course, in that book as well, too, the relevance gap. And is there a process in there on the methods, like how can they all come together and communicate, like common ground or anything like that? And what other methods are used to get the communication flowing, although they're button heads after a while? It's like, what are some of the other methods you can get all the generations to simply come together like in common ground?
Yeah. So, with that, it's just about collaborative. The word collaboration is really where we need to get to, and understanding that, again, in the workforce. And I think that's just been the challenge. I think what there was just a transitional period that was very uncomfortable, where people having to let go. I'm 51. At some stage, you got to kind of let go of some things. And I think as leaders, the important thing about leadership is that it's not important that you're climbing the ladder. A good leader holds the ladder while somebody else climbs up it. Right. And so what I've seen in the relationship and what the book describes in developing those relationships, finding value in each other, what each other's strengths are. What's the millennial's strength? What's the baby boomer strength? What's the Gen X's strength? I can tell you what our strength is. we are the generation of adaptation. We are good at adapting. We were raised in it, right? So we're very quick to take new technology or systems and assimilate them and adapt and then switch foot and move on. We do that naturally. Baby boomers maybe struggle a little bit more with it, but they've got all of the drive and the competitiveness and the leadership skills.
Leadership, management. Yeah, yes. That's right. It's like, the drive back in the day too. Me, baby boomer myself, it's like, I've been there myself, and I was very close to Gen X myself. It's like, borderline and everything. It's like, sometimes I wish I was Gen X, and it's like, thank God I'm a baby boomer. I can teach those people.
But then the millennials are incredibly gifted in terms of the concept of community. They want to, work together. Like that's their focus. They're a little less interested maybe in money, maybe not as competitive, but more trying to figure out how they work together to accomplish more and more rapidly and allow everyone to benefit from that. And then the Gen Zs are unbelievable. I mean, they could take it or leave it. They were born with it. It's been in there their whole life. They didn't have to assimilate it. It's all they've ever known. They'd rather put the phone down and play some Monopoly with grandpa. And I mean, you know what I'm saying? It's just like they have a different, the cellular phone for them and technology is like the television was for us. I mean, it's just like, okay, I'm tired of doing this. How do we get outside of this and do different things? So they're very creative. And so just finding out like what is each. And so once they figure that out and they can start working together, start to appreciate each other for their skills and their gifts and their talents and what they bring to market, then now what you have is a really strong dynamic, but you got to get them in the same place, working together and understanding how each of us benefit each other.
And what about Generation Y and their strengths? We covered all the generations in there, their strengths. What's their strength of Generation Y? What can they bring to the table?
It's a complicated world, right? They're young right now. They're not even in the employment workforce yet. They're just learning. They're learning about things that, matter of fact, they'll know Zoom their whole life. They will be raised on distance learning. They'll know distance learning better than they'll have efficiencies and systems and things that they'll bring to the table. And so can't even say about Gen Y right now, right? It's just like we just kind of got to watch how they develop and then just again identify skills, identify the gift, identify the talent, get on the same page, not butt heads. And we can all work together and build something really beautiful. And I think that's what's happening right now. So.
And I think that sounds great as well, too. We'll talk more about the Relevance Gap with Scott Scantlin and other things in just 1 minute. But first, listen to the Mike Wagner Show at themikewagnershow.com, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. Look at a professional website without breaking your budget. Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs that blow the competition away. Call today, 1-800-303-3960. That's 1-800-303-3960 or email to support@sonicwebstudios.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show. Get 20% off your first project. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level. Also, time to give official shout out to our official sponsor of the Mike Wagner Show, international warring author Mia Molson-Zia. If you love fast-paced mysteries, you love Missing by Mia Molson-Zia. Available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. Missing is fast-paced and intriguing with an unforgettable twist. Takes place in 4 countries, 2 strangers, 1 target, where truth is an illusion and those you love will be the first to go missing. It's available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. Missing by Mia Molson-Zia has garnered great reviews and even loved and endorsed by Howard celebrities, including Joanna Cassidy, Forbes Riley, and many others. So grab your copy today for Goes Missing by Mia Molson-Zia, available on Amazon. Also, check out The Mike Wagner Show on over 30 podcast platforms and themikewagnershow.com. Take us with you on any mobile device. Subscribe to The Mike Wagner Show on the YouTube channel. Follow The Mike Wagner Show on Instagram and Twitter today. And for great gift ideas, go to Amazon.com and check out The Mike Wagner Show podcast. And for more great gift ideas, go to Amazon.com/Mia Molson-Zia for great books like Missing, Once, and Wrinkles. You can also order online and Audible as well, too, and ebook, Amazon.com/Mia Molson-Zia. Also, check out their great lineup of merchandise, t-shirts, pop sockets, hoodies, phone cases, and more. And support the Mike Wagner Show on Anchor FM, PayPal, and themikewagnershow.com. Make sure you do so today. We're here with a professional speaker, author, consultant, sales trainer, and the author of the book, The Relevance Gap, Scott Scantlin, here on the Mike Wagner Show. And we talked about the book, like with all the generations coming together and how they work. Also, does living geographically also factors in? Like you live outside Tampa, you lived in Kansas City, and does geographical factor also takes factor as well too?
Well, I think in the world we live in now, it's an interesting dynamic. I mean, you have COVID, which, shut down borders that people don't necessarily want to travel outside the country. You might not be able to get back in. It's the dynamic of the world around us has changed. People are working from home. I mean, over the last 18, 19 months, since the pandemic, a lot of people they worked from home. Okay. Remote work, remote learning, distance learning. When they got up in the morning, their kids were there. When in the afternoon, they saw their kids, and went to bed, they had their kids. And now they're all getting called back into work, and they're like, hey, wait a minute. I don't want that. I don't want to go back to the old system. Right. So because of that, speaking of geographical locations, people are still working and finding ways to be effectively working corporately and also independently from the comfort of their own home, whether they're doing freelance contract labor or whether they're still have made arrangements with their corporation. A good friend of mine who actually wrote about in this book, okay, and the company he's with, he's a VP over at Engaged Companies, credible guy, just messaged me, and he happened to be down here in Marco, Florida. I posted something on Facebook, and he's like, hey, what's going on? I'm like, hey, what's going on? He goes, I'm in Marco. I'm like, are you not in Kansas City? And, what are you doing with Engage? He goes, we're down here for 6 months. We rented a space. We got a place down here in Marco Island. I'm going to work from here, and 6 months we'll go back, and I can fly back and forth. And so the flexibility, okay, of being anywhere, what we call the work from home revolution, changed the game. I can be anywhere. I can write books anywhere. I'm on Zoom. You want to meet with me, Mike? Don't remember where you're located, but I'm in Florida right now. You're in.
Let me give you a hint. 40 miles west of Bismarck, North Dakota, 250 miles south of Canadian border. If you want an idea where it's at, go further north. Just watch out for the hockey pucks from the Canadians. Otherwise, they're very friendly people.
So you're there. I'm here. We're doing a podcast. I mean, it's like the world has changed. And, so my good friend, my great friend who I wrote about in the book, a different kind of company, a company that focuses on human dignity. That's their focus for their employees. At the end of the day, they want their employees to leave that workspace feeling just a little bit better than when they walk through the doors that morning. Human dignity is their number one core value for that company. And he's able to run that company from, the way, see, that's the difference. So geography, does geography really matter? Can you be where you want to be? Can you design your own work life? Can you create a better world? And I think that's one of the things, Mike, why you're seeing the great resignation right now, where people are, 4 million jobs. They didn't lose them. They just walked off the job. They said, I'm not going back. We'll let you work from home, but we're going to give you a 25% pay cut. And I'll go find another job. Because, and that's the other thing I write about in the book, actually, where one gentleman who went into freelance contract labor because he was out there, had his I'm thinking of his resume. His resume out there, was getting job offers all over the country. Didn't want to move his family, went into freelance contract labor market, got hired, built himself out, was able to stay in the place he wanted to be in with his family, didn't have to pull his kids out of school, didn't have to move to another city. I mean, that's the difference. So like when you begin to go, okay, wait a minute, am I relevant? And then, oh, by the way, what are the benefits of, basically picking up some of these skills?
Yes, that's a very important one too. You can also learn like on Allison. I think there's also I'm trying to think of that one free online university. I can't think of it right now. I know there's Allison. There's I'm trying to think what's the other one, but I'm sure they'll come up too. So it's just like you can take some free online courses, and besides, people just learn off of YouTube. It's like YouTube University.
I got a YouTube channel. I mean, it's like I'm on YouTube all the time. I've learned how to trade cryptocurrency on YouTube. I learned all kinds of different, personal development systems. If I need to know how to do something on Facebook or social media, I can go watch, like one of the things we want to learn how to do is like smart texting on my phone. So I didn't have to constantly be typing out the same text over and over again. So I just went and watched a little video on YouTube, picked up smart texting skills, added that to my system, and started implementing that and training it and duplicating with my organization, with my team in sales. See, and that changed the game. So the modalities have changed, things have changed, but it's all right there. And so much of it is absolutely totally free. It's at our fingertips. It's called YouTube, and there's so many other options as well.
Mm-hmm. So. That is very amazing too. And what do you think the future would be when it comes to the workforce and everything else in the relevance gap? What do you think the next trend or the next step is going to be?
Yeah, I think what you're going to see happen, and I talked about it in the book, that right now 20% of all labor in the market is currently freelance contract labor. They said in the next decade, from the research that we had done, in the next decade that would move to 50%.
Wow!
But I'm going to tell you right now, freelance contract labor is going to be at 50%, probably. And that so I say 50%, I mean 50% of all jobs. Okay.
Wow.
The employer is going to begin to recognize the benefits of contract labor. If I hire somebody under freelance contract labor, I don't have to employ you. I have to pay for your insurance. I don't have to provide. I can say, hey, these are available. We have some perks and things like that. But ultimately, it's more advantageous for that. And then what now you have is a more competitive global market where, you might be competing with a contract for somebody from the Philippines. Mm-hmm. You might be right here, but guess what? Once you get that market going, free enterprise, right, starts driving up demand, and it's just value and demand and, what you bring to the table. And you know what they say? You get paid based on the value that you add to the marketplace. And so it becomes a very competitive market, but I think that's what you're going to see happen. It's going to become dominant. Of course, the government's already kind of getting involved now, and they're going to come in and provide some regulatory compliance. So that'll all happen, So, but that's where we're at right now. We're in the infancy stage of an absolute total global market shift where you're going to see globalization, but you're also going to see a competitive, freelance market. That's what you're going to see. That's what's going to happen.
And of course, the last thing as well, too, you used to go to an employer. It's like, what kind of insurance you offer, benefits, health, dental, medical, and everything else. Now you can choose online, like go to say, Select Quote, or say with your Marketplace or anything like that. You can just go online and say, hey, I'm looking for a plan or something. You can just choose, and that's the benefits of freelance or even freelancers unions. Like they'll give you a list of it as long as you join. That's a big one these days.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. I have a health cost sharing program, which I've had for 4 or 5 years now. I pay between me and my wife at 51 years old about a little over $300 a month. And, she gets sick, I get sick or whatever. It's a health cost sharing. It's different than insurance, a different way. But here's the deal. Because I'm in business for myself, because I put myself out there to do the research, and I've decided and chosen to acquire those skills and information available online pretty much for free. YouTube, all these different great resources that we have at our fingertips. Somebody could be very proficient very quickly. And again, like you said, what's the employment market going to look like? Trust me. If I were listening right now, I would go figure out how to take my skills, whether that's in your current employment and what you do and what you're good at or what your gifts are, and figure out how to launch that in such a way that you can now contract or sell your contract your services out there to companies. Start looking into freelancer, start looking into, Upworks and all these different where you can get hired out for those skill sets, and start to do it now. Because here's the deal. If they come along and say, well, we're going to maybe move this job to the home and we're going to let you go for a while because we're going to hire this other person to do these same skill sets, and then they want maybe come back to you later and offer it back to you, you don't want to be in that situation. You want to be able to call the shots. And so now's the time to start figuring that out in advance before we even get there.
And of course, you also have the power to negotiate as well, too, like say on Freelancer or say with Guru or Upwork or anything like that. You can simply say, hey, this is how much I'm going to do. And if they choose to go somebody else, it's like, hey, somebody else can hire me for that price. That's the nice part about it. It's just like sometimes you say, get what you pay for, or you just say, here, take it or leave it.
I'll give you an example. I have my virtual assistant is working for me for about a year and a half, and gave her a raise and everything along the way. She started getting on Upworks and Freelancer, and she came back. She goes, some of these people are billing like $30 an hour, and I think I want to get paid $30 an hour. So we negotiated and talked about it a little bit. But the bottom line, what happened for her? She acquired a skill. She became irrelevant. She began to find things online that gave her a little bit more information, and now she's booking herself.
And a negotiator. That's right.
That's right.
Oh, that's so perfect. And of course, as always, consult an attorney, consult a lawyer, and most importantly, go with Legalshield as well, too.
That's right. That's right. Thank you, Mike. Thank you for that plug.
No problem. Thank you. And where can we find you, Buck, the Relevance Gap and all your services?
Yeah. So Amazon. So, go to Amazon. Scott Scantlin is my name. And the name of the book is The Relevance Gap. You type it in. There's not another book named it. You'll find it quick. It'll pop right up for you. It's $12.95. When we launched the book, it was $19.95. So that was back in November of 2019, right before the pandemic hit. So everything in my book that I was writing about went from this is going to happen 3, 4, 5 years out or 10 years out to it's happening right now. You can learn all this stuff immediately, which is incredible. So, but we dropped the book down to $12.95. It's just a fitting price for the book. It's 179 pages. It's a great read, simple and easy, and a great gift also as well. If you're looking to bless somebody with some information, we've had a lot of great feedback from the book, and people have posted their responses, the value of the book, also as well. So you can take a look at those and kind of see how that works out for everybody else. But yeah, so that's where you get my book. You can also go to scottscantlin.com. That's my website. A little bit more information there also as well. If you'd like to hire me as a business coach or book me for a speaking engagement, there's all my contact information and a little bit of information about my speaking styles and systems and things like that I do that you can find there also as well. And then, of course, I'm on everything: Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok. I'm on all of it. So you can find me on all those locations. Scott Scantlin's the name. Just go in and type that in. You'll find me. Send me a message, shoot me a message, or find me on my website and shoot me a message there. And we'd love to help anybody we can. So we certainly would do so. And what's coming up for Scott Scantlin in 2022 and beyond, we'll find out just 1 minute. You listen to the Mike Wagner Show at the MikeWagnerShow.com, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at SonicWebStudios.com for all your needs. Also brought to you by our official sponsor of the Mike Wagner Show, international warring author Mia Mosensia Missing, available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. We'll be back with the author of The Relevance Gap, Scott Scantlin, after this time out.
The Mike Wagner Show is powered by Sonic Web Studios. If you're looking to start or upgrade your online presence, visit www.sonicwebstudios.com for all of your online needs. Call 1-800-303-3960 or visit us online at www.sonicwebstudios.com to get started today. Mention the Mike Wagner Show and get 20% off your project. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level.
Hey everybody, my name is Forbes Riley and I'm an American actress and a TV host, and I was delighted when I got my copy of Missing, which is Extraordinary Relation of Ordinary People based on a real life relationship. It's well written. It's amazing. It talks about a man who has lost his wife and his daughter, and it's very well done. I'm going to highly recommend that you go get your copy of Missing. It is a powerful, exciting read. Mr. Mian Moshazia. He is the author of Missing. And I want to give a big shout out and a kiss all the way halfway around the world to my dear friend. Check him out at Mia's website. It's called www.miamoshazia.com. Missing. Available on Amazon. Again, I'm Forbes Riley, and I will see you again soon. Bye-bye.
Hey, this is Ray Powers, and boy, are you in luck. Right place, right time. Tuned in to the Mike Wagner Show. You heard me.
We're back with the author of The Relevance Gap, Scott Scantlin, here on the Mike Wagner Show, also professional speaker and consultant, sales trainer, and more. And what can we expect from you in 2022 and beyond, Scott?
Yeah, so really getting ready to write another book. That's what I'm working on now. We're down here in Florida, and we're doing some expansive work down here. My wife owns nutrition clubs, which is pretty cool. So she owns, like we talked about, she has a different business, right? So we're kind of a husband and wife power team in a way, and watching her launch and participating and kind of helping her get things off the ground. But we're down here in Florida, and I'm inspired right now. I'm inspired to write another book. I'm watching how all of this is playing out with COVID. I'm watching how the world around me has completely changed from the systems of operation that we used to know, which was joining BNI and networking functions and the Chamber of Commerce and going out and shaking hands and calling people on the phone to all of these new modalities, right? Okay. Mm-hmm. Working on social media platforms and, working on Zoom and just and YouTube and all these new systems that we have in place and new modalities that we have in place, and being able to work in that over the last 18, 19 months as COVID has hit, and making those adaptations and making those changes myself personally. And then, of course, working them out and training organizations around the country on how to implement some of these skill sets. That's what I'm really focused on. So I'm really interested in writing another book right now. I want to take kind of what I've learned and just take where I was at with the relevance gap and just take it to a whole nother level, and just make it, 2022 and beyond. So that's what I'm inspired to do right now. That's what I'm working on, and looking forward to working with companies and working with individuals that want to, to take that leap, and move to the next level in their potential.
That sounds amazing. You've got great plans ahead of you, Scott. I'm certainly looking forward to it. And who do you consider biggest influence in your career?
Gosh, that's a great question. So I've been inspired by so many professional speakers over the years, Jim Rohn, Anthony Robbins, just on and on. We could talk about all the greats, right? They've all inspired me. But I'll tell you what, a big influence for me was Harlan Stonecipher, the CEO and founder of Legalshield. I watched him take a concept, an idea that probably was ridiculed and made fun of. I can only imagine lawyers like, hey, this is what we're going to do, and $25 a month. And they're like, that'll never work. You're crazy, and to watch him build that company from scratch, from nothing, from a concept, from an idea, okay, which is all it really was. Mm-hmm. It was, it was like, hey, this is a broken legal system. We need to fix it. Here's how we're going to do it. Everybody thinks he's, off his rocker, to getting traction, so much so that he started doing so well that they opposed him violently, through regulations.
Whoa, we're going to sue you.
Right. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, you're not going to take our market share. We're going to regulate you out of business and stuff like that. And to press through and to see where that company is at today, even though Harlan Stonecipher still isn't with the company, to see where the company's at today, right? Where it has become, it's fully accessible. They're fully relevant, right? We have a mobile app. Okay. People access the services right through a mobile app, making it simpler, easier, more affordable. And now it's at 3% market penetration. And that really is the tipping point. That's when a company, explodes and becomes what we call mass adoption. And that's where that company's at. But to watch him do that, because I watched him, that company was publicly trading at about $65 to $70 a share. Okay. On the NASDAQ and eventually on the New York Stock Exchange.
Whoa.
Came from scratch. And at the same time, they're still operating on Main Street in Ada, Oklahoma, keeping costs low, while they were leveraging technology and systems to build that company nationwide, now in Canada, all 7 provinces. I'm inspired by Mr. Stonecipher. He inspired me. I watched him build a company from nothing. I was a part of it. I got to watch the entire thing and be involved with the entire leadership of that entire organization. And but Harlan Stonecipher truly has inspired me. I get a lot of my fight from that. And so
I was going to say, I can imagine Warren Buffett living in Omaha. He would be very proud. I'll tell you that.
Very proud. Very, almost an identical story, right? You know what I mean?
Oh my gosh. That is so amazing. I love it. And what's the best advice you can give to anybody at this point, Scott?
Never quit, man. Just keep chipping away. I mean, it's like, figure out 2 or 3 things that you need to do over the next 90 days and just get focused on those 2 or 3 things and just keep chipping away. Because look, whether it's business or whether it's, I feel irrelevant and I need to add on some of these skills that I'm challenged by. Maybe you're challenged by something as simple as using a cell phone. Maybe you're challenged by social media. Mm-hmm. Maybe you're challenged by technology, computers, all the different things. Sometimes it's a little overwhelming because it's just so much. Mm-hmm. But look, if you just pick 2 or 3 things, say, I'm going to take these 2 or 3 things and I'm going to master them in the next 90 days, and you make that your plan, you will begin to develop a muscle called the muscle of adaptation. And if that's the ultimate skill in the world we live in, you need to learn to adapt. As a matter of fact, in leadership I train, you need to develop a reputation for speed and adaptability. A reputation, not just acquire the skill. You need to develop a reputation for speed and adaptability. They say, God, that guy gets off one foot and onto another foot quick. Does it quick.
Yes.
Develop that. You get that skill. Okay. Like I said, you could be a novice and I'm the most irrelevant person in the room and everybody's up here and I'm down here and I need to get back up here. What do I do? 2 or 3 things. Pick 2 or 3 things. If you read my book, you'll read about that. Pick 2 or 3 things. Start working. Make the next 90 days, a little 90 day. I'm going to master these things and just start working on it. And then what will happen is that adaptability muscle will kick in. And then the brain will take over because the brain is super efficient. It'll become its new system and it'll start to operate that on everything because the way we do anything is the way we do everything. Once you change the system in the mind starts to believe, you want to become unstoppable, and all the other things you're challenged by, they will happen through automation. Your brain will take over and it'll all happen through automation. I promise you, that's what you need to do in the next 90 days.
That's very amazing. And I will take that to heart as well, too. I love it, love it, love it. Once again, we're with author Scott Scantlin, also a professional speaker, consultant, sales trainer here on the Mike Wagner Show with the Relevance Gap. Scott, very big thank you for your time. You've been absolutely fantastic. Learned a lot from you. Looking forward to having you on in 2022. Make sure you keep yourself up to date. Keep in touch. Love to have you back. And once again, tell us about your upcoming projects. What's your website? How do people contact you? Where can people purchase, check out your book, or check out your services?
Awesome. Mike, thank you so much, man. Really, it's been a pleasure being here with you today. Looking forward to, again, coming back again. So thank you very much. Appreciate you inviting me.
And also, once again, your website and how they purchase your book and also check out your services.
Yeah. So scottscantlin.com is my website. You can access me there. I'm on all the social media platforms. And of course, Amazon.com, guys. Okay. The Relevance Gap. Look it up. $12.95. Get a copy, and I'd love to hear from you, and I look forward to your reviews. Thank you very much.
We certainly would do so. Scott, a very big thank you for your time. You've been absolutely terrific, and looking forward to having you on again soon. Keep us up to date, keep in touch, and we look forward to having you back. We wish you all the best. You've got a great future ahead of you.
Thanks, Mike. Appreciate it. Thank you very much.
The Mike Wagner Show is powered by Sonic Web Studios. If you're looking to start or upgrade your online presence, visit www.sonicwebstudios.com for all of your online needs. Call 1-800-303-3960 or visit us online at www.sonicwebstudios.com to get started today. Mention the Mike Wagner Show and get 20% off your project. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level.
Hey everybody, my name is Forbes Riley and I'm an American actress and a TV host, and I was delighted when I got my copy of Missing, which is Extraordinary Relation of Ordinary People based on a real life relationship. It's well written. It's amazing. It talks about a man who has lost his wife and his daughter, and it's very well done. I'm going to highly recommend that you go get your copy of Missing. It is a powerful, exciting read. Mr. Mian Moshe Zia. He is the author of Missing. And I want to give a big shout out and a kiss all the way halfway around the world to my dear friend. Check him out at Mia's website. It's called www.miamoshenzea.com. Missing. Available on Amazon. Again, I'm Forbes Riley, and I will see you again soon. Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening to The Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. The Mike Wagner Show can be heard on Spreaker, Spotify, iHeartRadio, iTunes, YouTube, Anchor FM, Radio Public, and themikewagnershow.com. Please support our program with your donations at themikewagnershow.com. Join us again next time for another great episode of The Mike Wagner Show.